In Sudan and now in Chad, you hear a lot of statistics. Millions displaced, tens of thousands killed. But statistics are just numbers. These are real people who have been forced from the places they call home and have lost the people they love most.
الرجال إذا كان ماشي بضربون بالبنادق الرجال إذا ماشي بضربون بالبنادق وحتى النسوان إذا كان قد ذاته بيقربوا في النسوان بيشيلوا هميريم وبيشيلوا معيشة نام شوية شوية كان شتى سوى بندورة وإيش بيشيلوا وحتى بطموا في النسوان ذاته زي نسوان وقيل 2 3 4 كده قربوهم استعملهم برضو فعلى أي حالة نحن كمان مغلبين إذا راجل مشيت بخوفوك
رجال كل ده يوم قبل دانين قاعدين ده رجالنا بس بيجيبوا لنا ناكل ونشرب رجال كل كتلب سلب بمشي بسايدي ما في جاكشكم بسكاكين وبتلو كملهم رجال تانانين أبين جين في بلدنا تان ما نلقى أهل الليلة ده.
The crisis in Darfur is growing. Encouraged by the Sudanese government, the heavily armed Janjaweed militia responsible for the killings have now crossed the border into Chad, and the people they attack are powerless to stop them.
تو سمعنا الضربات بتاعت البنادق وبتاع المهم جرينا جينا طالما حدث الهجوم في المحل ده قتلوا أبهاتنا وقتلوا أخواننا وشالوا المال. تو نحن بقينا بنبزع الفزية ماشي القتال داير علينا افتكر من الساعة 5:30 الهجوم صباح. تاني قتلوا مننا 4 نفر تاني من محل ده ما ينحملنا لأن نحن عندنا حراب وهم محملين سلاح. تاني كسينا.
In the first place, the Janjaweed came looking for something ordinary. The livestock that are the riches of the local communities and that gave them the food to stay alive. Then the Janjaweed tactics changed.
They would come and not just target the cattle anymore, but actually come inside the villages and start killing the civilian population itself. And these seemed like a much different kind of attack. It seemed much more aimed at breaking any kind of resistance at all and pushing people off the land. Because after this, people had been able to tolerate the small attacks and the small losses. But this indicated to them that the Janjaweed were intent on actually finishing off completely.
The Janjaweed are funded and supported by the government of Sudan to attack targeted ethnic groups. 2 million men, women and children were driven off their land in Darfur, and the Janjaweed kept what they looted. Now they've extended their attacks, displacing and killing targeted groups in Chad, and the people there find themselves caught up in fighting they thought was confined to another country.
والله طبعا الواضح أن إحنا نقول شيء طمع في ظاهر الفعل نقول الطمع الشخصية لكن طالما شيء بيسبب الأموات وبأخذ الأموال بصفة عامة كده أو مختصة بقبائل شيء ده قد يكون سائر بعيد يكون فايته عن إحنا ذات فايد لنا نحن عند أمر نحن ما نقدر نحدده لأنه لو كان أمر مهدد معروف كده نحن نقدر نحكي عليه لكن شغل هو منتشر من دولة وداخل إلى الدولة معناه ده قد يكون أمر سياسي نحن ده ما عندنا فيه خبرة.
Reasons aren't that important when instead you're concentrating on staying alive. All along the border there are now tens of thousands of displaced people struggling for life's essentials. Settlements are growing up with the displaced hoping there's strength in numbers, but the reality is that spears and bows and arrows will never stand up to guns, and the Janjaweed know they're free to come and go as they wish, taking what they want and only stopping when there's nothing left to take. This is Jawara, a place that was home to thousands before April of this year. Mohammed Saeed led us to a spot just outside the town that on the 12th and 13th of April this year became a mass grave.
Il était tombé là. Donc après 2 semaines, il a été complètement décomposé. On l'a enterré ici. Donc ici, ils sont 5. Ici.
In all, more than 100 people were killed here. After that, those left alive packed what they could and fled. People here need protection, and the Janjaweed must be stopped. Currently there's a danger that while the world looks the other way, the carnage of Darfur is spreading. Those that the Janjaweed haven't killed are facing shortages of water and food, and disease is a very real danger. It's also hard to find anyone who isn't scared. Some are even fleeing into the chaos of Darfur, not understanding there's no shelter there.
الناس لاجين جاكل أخير لقوا وطن أخير لكن أنينا دي كسرنا جين في وطننا لكن لا هسه ما لقينا راحة هسه كل أكون نقود مال وايد يجيبوا لنا يدارسون أنينا أول دوا درنا يكون يجيبوا لنا مدارس ندارس القاد قدام بيجوا شنو كل تان بيجاجون هسه قريب 5 مال دايرين يجاجون وين لين نلوم ياقو نسالم ولا نلقي إلهم شنو قدام الجاي كل نشوف شنو مال هنا دكم قانا إن شاء الله يجيبوا لنا مدارس يا سكر دي يقولوا يفتح الجاي قدام يشوفوا لنا أني ندير أول دوا درنا.
People started fleeing out. People there wasn't really a concerted decision, but people just said, okay, we can't take this. Some went straight over into Sudan, and others came up here. Basically, they said because there's no security at all. وهنا في دقاسة لقيت في أمني.
في دقاسة في دقاسة لقينا أمني.
أكثر من هناك.
أمني هنا في موجودة.
شفناه. Yeah, I mean, here in Dagesa, there's a military presence. So if that's the most important thing, then that's why they came here.
The Chadian government must protect its people, and the Sudanese government must disarm and disband the Janjaweed. And Amnesty International wants UN peacekeepers to be sent to Darfur. If nothing happens to stop the violence, it will continue to spread, destroying more lives and throwing up ever more obscene statistics.